Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is an exciting day because I'm embarking on my first international flight from a country other than the US. I'm currently in the magnificent Philippines, and guess where I'm off to? That's right, Thailand. In a spur-of-the-moment decision, I've decided to join my brother and sister-in-law on their trip. It's a spontaneous adventure that I couldn't resist, and I'm absolutely thrilled to embark on this journey with them. So, as I mentioned earlier, I've only taken international flights from the US to various countries, but this time I'm departing from the Philippines, and it's a whole new experience for me. As an American traveler, it's fascinating to navigate the process here and see how it differs from what I'm accustomed to. The first step of my adventure is getting to Clark International Airport from San Fernando, Pampanga. Shout out to the Grab driver for changing my destination last minute and getting me to the airport safely. I had initially booked a Grab ride to my brother's house. However, due to time constraints, I had to modify my drop-off location to the airport instead. As a result, the fare for the ride had to be adjusted, and the total cost, including any necessary changes and a tip for the driver, came out to approximately 1,000 pesos. Upon entering the airport, I must say that it's quite impressive. And it's stunning. Look at it. The airport was recently renovated and expanded, so it has this modern look to it. It's spacious, and overall the ambiance is very welcoming and aesthetically pleasing. With plenty of time to spare before the check-in counter opened, my brother suggested that we grab a bite to eat at one of the restaurants on the second floor. Even though I had initially planned to save my appetite for the lounge, I decided to accompany them to explore what the upper level had to offer. Finding vegetarian food in the Philippines is very challenging, therefore I didn't expect to find anything to eat. I ended up grabbing an iced black tea at Gongcha. This drink cost me roughly 170 to 180 pesos, which is about $3.25 to $3.50 US.
Thank you.
My brother made the choice to order from this restaurant, opting for pesto pasta, a sausage roll, and coffee. The serving sizes turned out to be quite generous, as he was able to share them with his wife. If you're looking for an affordable meal, I recommend grabbing food from one of the quick service food establishments on the second floor before entering the departure lounge. As you'll see later in the vlog, the dining options inside the departure lounge tend to be in a sit-down restaurant setting, but they come with a higher price. One of the reasons I emphasized that this was my first international trip from the Philippines is because I encountered certain requirements that I wasn't initially aware of. It became a learning experience for me, particularly regarding the travel tax that is imposed. I had to conduct my own research to determine if I needed to pay this fee, and fortunately, I discovered that I was exempt. If you're curious about your own exemption status, I've included a link for you to check out. In my case, I learned that foreigners holding a foreign passport and who have been in the Philippines for less than a year are exempt from paying the travel tax. I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude and give a special shout out to the amazing airport staff who made my experience truly memorable. Although I didn't have the chance to catch your name, I want to extend my sincere appreciation for your helpfulness and kindness throughout my time at the airport. Now let's delve into my check-in and immigration experience. One fascinating aspect of the check-in process that differed from my previous experiences in the USA was being asked for the name and address of the hotel where I would be staying. So this was a unique requirement that I hadn't encountered before while departing the USA. Now, when it came to my immigration experience, I was asked two specific questions that caught my attention. The first was inquiring about my relationship with the people I was traveling with, and the second was regarding the purpose of my trip. So this was also an intriguing aspect for me, as I've never encountered immigration procedures when departing from the USA before. Once we got past immigration, we headed to the PAGSS lounge located across from Gate 9. I was able to access this lounge through my Priority Pass membership, and the best part was that I was able to bring 2 guests along with me. You could also pay a walk-in fee of 900 pesos or $18. This lounge is temporary due to ongoing airport renovations, so the amenities were limited compared to permanent lounges. Nevertheless, it was still a great space to relax before our flight. As I approached the food section, I quickly realized that the hot food options are limited. Unfortunately, there aren't any vegetarian options available. However, considering the circumstances, I wasn't expecting much. I was pleased to see that there were prepackaged snacks available, as well as a variety of hot and cold drinks. It's also worth noting that there are no alcoholic beverages available at this lounge. I ended up getting an oatmeal raisin cookie, which was surprisingly good, and a double shot of espresso. As I mentioned earlier, the food options available in the departure lounge have more of a sit-down restaurant atmosphere, but it's worth noting that the prices tend to be higher compared to the check-in area. Due to the smaller size of the airport, there aren't as many available choices. In my experience, I haven't come across an airport that restricts bringing outside food unless it's in liquid form, such as soup. So if you're on a budget or not a fan of airport food like myself, I highly recommend bringing your own meals, especially if you have a specific dietary requirement. It's a great way to ensure that you have options that suit your own preferences, as the available food choices within the airport seem to be somewhat limited. Our departure flight was significantly crowded as Cebu Pacific had canceled several flights in anticipation of an approaching typhoon. Originally, we were scheduled to fly out the following day, but due to our flight cancellation, we had no other option but to rearrange our plans and depart a day earlier. It seemed that many other passengers had the same idea, resulting in a notably packed flight. Almost 4 hours later, we've just landed at Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport after a smooth flight from Clark International Airport. Upon disembarking the plane, we made our way to the arrival area, which appears to be the whole second floor. The airport is well organized and the signs directed us to the immigration area. When arriving at the airport, it's important to be aware that the distance from the arrival gate to the immigration area can be quite considerable. So if you have any mobility issues, are elderly, or have a disability, I highly recommend availing airport assistance services. Based on our experience, it took us approximately 15 minutes to reach the immigration area. However, the actual time may vary depending on the proximity of your arrival gate to the immigration area. The immigration process was quite smooth. The immigration officer scans and stamps your passport, takes your photo, and scans your fingerprints. It was very straightforward. For travelers holding a U.S. or Philippine passport, you're typically granted a 30-day visa exemption upon arrival. This means that you can stay in the country for up to 30 days without the need for a separate visa. However, it's always important to check the latest immigration regulations and requirements before your trip. We headed to the basement to exchange our money at Super Rich, which is a popular currency exchange service. They're known to offer more favorable rates compared to the exchange services in the arrival area. It's important to note that the exchange rate may vary depending on the denomination of the currency being exchanged. In our case, we found that different denominations, such as $1 to $20 and $50 to $100, had slightly different exchange rates. We made our way to the 4th floor of the airport to collect the BTS Rabbit card and SIM card that I had previously purchased on Klook. We just located the designated counter and presented the Klook voucher. The staff verifies your details and hands over your cards. They also install the SIM card and register it for you, but you need to present your passport. Presenting my brother and his wife, captured in a photo against the backdrop of the illustrious giant statues that adorn the 4th floor of the airport. Spread across the entire floor, these statues are scattered in such a way that you can choose to take a photo with each and every one of them. We then made our way to the designated pickup area where our taxi driver was waiting. My sister-in-law arranged for a pre-booked taxi to the hotel, which cost 700 baht. That's roughly 20 USD or 1,100 pesos. Taking in the sights of Bangkok at night, it's truly fascinating to witness the similarities that connect cities like Bangkok, Manila, and even New York City. There's an undeniable universal quality that makes the city experience captivating, regardless of the specific location. It's in the way the cities come alive at night, the vibrant streets, illuminated buildings, and constant flow of people. There's an energy, a vibrancy that reverberates through the streets, giving each city its distinct character. So whether it's Bangkok, Manila, or even cities like New York, there's a shared essence that connects us all. And that concludes today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed joining me on this exciting journey from Clark to Bangkok. Stay tuned for the upcoming series of videos that will be released shortly. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.